Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's ceremony. Please find your seats. Throughout the ceremony, cues to stand or be seated will be given. Military guests in uniform should stand at attention for the national anthem, while civilian guests may put their hand over their heart during the national anthem. Please silence all cell phones at this time, and the ceremony will begin shortly. Good morning, and thank you for attending the Change of Command ceremony for the 346th Test Squadron. Today we will bid farewell to Lieutenant Colonel Adan R. Reyes and welcome a new leader, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher C. Olsen. Our ceremony today is a celebration of both continuity and change. Continuity in the form of a military tradition whose roots reach back through time to the legions of ancient Rome, to the passing of signets that once symbolized the transfer of command from one to another. Continuity and change. As this great command says farewell to an honored leader and welcomes his successor through a ceremony that differs only in style, not substance, from those of the Romans. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is the commander, 318th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Thomas T. Bodnar. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation by Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel David McGuire. Chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel David McGuire, please offer the invocation.
As you are able, I invite you to join me in prayer. Giver of life and Almighty Lord our God, today we come to you with deep gratitude in our hearts for all of your gifts that you give to us each day: family, loved ones, good friends, laughter, our great jobs. Help us always to receive these gifts with thanksgiving, and may our hearts be stirred to remember all of your mercies which we receive through your love towards us. We gather today at this change of command, recognizing powerful work done by the 346th Test Squadron and how it is guided by talented, creative, and generous leaders. Let us each remind ourselves today, lest we forget, that God brought us to our places of blessing and prosperity. Indeed, we are each frail and finite, unable to always know what is the best way to go. Give our leaders wisdom as they continue to fulfill the mission. Be with Lieutenant Colonel Adan Reyes, his wife Lauren, and their children, Xavier and Isabella, as they move on to the next chapter in their family's Air Force life. The gracious blessing of his family enabled him to be the generous and focused leader that powerfully and proudly served this command. Bless the heart and mind of Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Olsen, who, surrounded and empowered by his wife, Major Megan Olsen, and their children, William, Elliot, and Russell, and a constellation of loving and strong friends, will bring a steady and true direction for this unit and its crucial mission. Direct him, and by extension, all those whom he leads, O God, in all the decisions with which he will be involved in the future. Direct him with your most gracious favor, so that he may enable us to further the mission with your continual help. May all his judgments begin, continue, and end in you. Your strength enables us to protect others. Your providence keeps us safe. Help us to turn our hearts toward you each and every day. It is in your sacred name that I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We are honored to introduce the family members in attendance today. The spouse of the incoming commander, Major Megan Olsen, and their children, William, Elliot, and Russell. The spouse of the outgoing commander, Mrs. Lauren Reyes, and their children, Xavier and Isabella. The parents of the outgoing commander, Rose and Ted Reyes. The mother-in-law of the outgoing commander, Deborah Naro. And the brother-in-law of the outgoing commander, Sam Lyons. Distinguished visitors attending today are the commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Sean Kern. The Command Chief, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Lance Power. A special welcome is also extended to all senior leaders, friends, colleagues, and especially the members of the 346th Test Squadron. Thank you for joining us today for this momentous occasion. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commander, 318th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Thomas T. Bodnar.
Good morning. Oh, there it goes. So what a great day for the gunslingers, what a great day for the Black Widows, and what a great day for the Cobras. We get to recognize an outstanding leader, and we get to welcome a new member into our family. And this is a great day because a lot of times we do our work behind closed doors, and so we don't always get to talk about what we do, but we bring our family in here. We get to tell them about some of the good things that our leader has accomplished during the time that Colonel Reyes was here. A lot of the great things that the squadron has done as a whole. And we'll introduce Colonel Olsen to the unit. I'd like to thank Lauren and Megan for taking the time to be here today, because it's really great to see you both here today. And then Colonel Kern, Chief Power, and Colonel McDaniel, thank you very much for taking your time to spend the day with us, or the morning with us, as we welcome our new leader. So Faith, in your time here, there's really probably three big things that I can say really encapsulates your career. The first I'll talk about is really your love and your passion for your airmen. And I say airmen, that's big A airmen, right? Because that includes your contractors and civilians. So I constantly get emails from you and your team all the time. Hey, we've got a young airman going off to deployment. Hey, we're all going down to the airport. Don't always get there, but many, many, many times I get to hang out at the airport, USO, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, see young airmen off the door. There's nothing which you went to in your commander's course that tells you you have to do that. But you did that because it was the right thing to do to take care of your airmen. And when we got you as a commander, it was a package deal because we got Lauren as well. Key spouse of the millennium. I don't think there's an actual award, but she's been actively involved in the unit to really take care of the airmen and everything that they've been going through. And then with our recent instance with Miss Yvette, I'm very happy of everything that you did, and I know that we'll certainly have the Lopez family in our hearts. The second big thing that I'd talk about is all the work that you did to relook at how the Test Squadron operates. So we look at it really as what we call cyber weapon systems, but I'm not going to talk about that for a second. I'm going to talk about the building we're in right now. And so we'd go out and test and say, hey, do the lights work? Hey, does the flag work? Hey, is the individual music ready? But the way systems operate, the way things work in cyber, if the only thing I have working is the lights, none of this ceremony, nothing else here works. And so what FACE realized that is I can't look at these things in its own little thing. I have to look at this as an entire system. So we start looking at how do I change tests to looking at cyber work roles? What does that mean to look at a whole capability holistically? Still ways to get there, but you've done fantastic changes to relook at how we do our test empire. You notice I changed that to not be too cybery so the families can follow along as well. The other big thing that we've changed to talk about, if I go out to the aircraft world, they have something that's called a test pilot. So you've got a trained, certified pilot who goes out, works with the SPO, figures out how am I going to bring on a new airplane. And FACE said, why don't we have that in cyber? So he started building out a cyber test pilot program. How do I get certified operators in there? And I can't just wait for the personnel systems, the HR systems to give us. I need to start training my airmen to have those skills and talents so we can better incorporate. So you supported your airmen, and then both on a personal level, but then on a mission level. And then last, again, not also in your mandate, but certainly well received, is that you reached out to the bigger test community. Because the whole test community across the world is thinking, hey, there's this big, scary cyber thing. I saw something on CNN that said somebody hacked something. What am I supposed to be doing as I test aircraft, as I test advanced missile defense systems, as I test space systems? What are they supposed to be doing? And so the 346 has been that center of excellence to really train those other test organizations how to maintain our cyber, but they also were able to demonstrate to them the benefit of having a test squadron that's 100% operationally aligned. So you're not off on your own, you're directly aligned to missions. And so 67 Cyber Wing has been doing fantastic work in support of the Ukraine crisis. And a lot of that was been enabled by the test squadron coming in, making sure that our tools, our software, our capabilities were 100% reliable and available to do the things that they need to do. And so all of that was underneath Colonel Reyes' reign. So I really appreciate everything that you did during the time here. Chris comes to us from not too far away. So he was over at LCMC in the Cyberspace. And the Cyberspace is a fantastic place, but it's also an interesting place to work. You're a little bit detached. Hey, I'm going to build a new tool. I'm going to build a new thing. Hey, this looks great and it works, I guess. Is it having the mission effectiveness? Is it having the desired capability? Is it having the operational outcomes that we want it to do? And so there's always this disconnect. It's always easy to say, oh, so those older guys, they're not doing what we need to do. But having Chris, who has that background, has that capability in the program office, knows what they're delivering, able to help build those bridges between the operators and the SPO so that we're building better capabilities and bringing things online in a more productive manner. So we've got, like I said, Face, you've done some fantastic things. Really thrilled with everything that you've done in the time that you've been here. Chris, we welcome you aboard. With that, Face, why don't you come join me up here, and then we'll do some formal recognition.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the medal presentation. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has authorized by Executive Order 16, January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 2nd Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Adan Reyes for outstanding service 2 February 2021 to 27 June 2023. Lieutenant Colonel Adan Reyes distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 346th Test Squadron, 318th Cyberspace Operations Group, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Joint Base San Antonio-lackland, Texas. As Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Reyes ensured the completion of the United States Cyber Command and Air Combat Command cyberspace operational test priorities for defensive and offensive operations, cybersecurity, emission security, and unified capabilities assessment program efforts. Under his watch, the 346th Test Squadron executed 96 missions on 53 platforms, infrastructures, payloads, and weapon systems, supporting combat commanders worldwide. Additionally, Lieutenant Colonel Reyes' test prowess enabled the transformation of cyberspace operational tests to meet 21st century challenges by placing cutting-edge capabilities in the hands of warfighters at an unprecedented pace. Furthermore, his oversight of 19 teams and $66 million in assets led to the completion of 35 tests securing 6 United States Cyber Command and 13 Air Combat Command operational needs. Finally, he launched a combined test force initiative steering 4 wings resolution of test shortfalls, developing a benchmark for mission thread capstone testing, and being lauded by Headquarters Air Force Test and Evaluation and numbered Air Force general officers. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Reyes reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Go ahead and give. It is my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Adan R. Reyes.
There we go. Thank you, everybody, for attending this event. Brian can attest, I think this is far exceeds the number that we actually had during my change of command when I actually came in. Unfortunately, it was during the COVID time frame, so I think I had a grand total of about 10 people in the office, in the building at that time. I think the only one that was left is Viola, and I think Sergeant Blake were the only ones that were actually from that event that actually supported that last time. So it was a lot easier because I didn't have to worry about looking at people and get nervous when I was speaking. Because there was nobody there. But now I have everybody here, and pardon me if I just look at the ground because I hate making eye contact with people, and so it makes me nervous, and I don't want to get teary-eyed because that was rule number 1 with regards to the change of command. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the leadership team, Colonel Kern, Chief, obviously Colonel Pickelsheimer, as well as Colonel Bodnar, and the rest of the folks from the 318th COG staff. Thank you for showing up today. Chaplain, obviously, always a great invocation from you. Never disappointed with regards to the words that you say and the wisdom that you provide us during each one of those invocations, so thank you for attending that. Additionally, this event doesn't get done without anybody like Mr. Hoskins. I imagine he's very much happy with the fact that we're not wearing OCPs, because that's what I had to do the last time I did my change of command, unfortunately. So I imagine we're looking a little bit better today, being the fact that we're actually in our service dress, as well as Sneathan and the rest of the team, Sergeant Creek, everybody. Thank you for putting this together. This is just a showcase of a testament to all the hard work and dedication that the 346 Squadron provides everybody here, and our level of rigor to excellence in everything that we do, which is amazing. So I applaud y'all for the outstanding job for the change of command. Before I forget, I need to say thank you to the family, to my wife Lauren, to my kids Xavier and Isabella. Thank you for putting up with me during these past 2.5 years in the command seat. I think we have this running joke of always trying to say, hey, we just need to suck it up this one more tour, and then things are going to get easier. But they just keep getting harder and harder as we go along, and every step of the way, you guys have been there. Trust me, coming home every day to your hugs and your hellos kind of definitely makes the day go by a little bit better. Definitely puts a cap to the end of the day, and I don't think I could have made it without y'all. So thanks again for everything that you've done. I appreciate it. I love you. You know, we're not done yet. We still got a couple more to go, but I know that you're going to be there supporting me every step of the way, so thank you. I also have to say thank you to my mom and my dad for showing up today. This is amazing. One of the benefits of actually getting this command tour was the opportunity to actually be close to family. As everybody knows, if you're in the Air Force, anytime, you know, you're always away from your family, right? The nomad lifestyle of this career is not easy, and it does take a toll on a lot of folks over time. And you have to call upon the family to kind of help you out during those trying times, right? Whether you're away, whether you're deployed, or whatever the case may be, having that strong foundation is paramount. And you know, I think I've learned that from my family. The Reyes family back home in West Texas was a shining example of how to do that and how to do that the right way. And that comes from all of y'all. So Dad, Mom, thank you for everything that you've done. As well as Debbie, my mother-in-law, as well as Sam, my brother-in-law. Thank you for showing up today. I appreciate it. I know the sister-in-law couldn't be here because she's busy working, but I know she sent her messages and said thank you for everything. So once again, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for allowing me to take your daughter away from you, I think about 19 years ago, if memory serves me correct. And so going out on this adventure with me, so it means the world to me that y'all are here today. So thank you once again for everything. According to that, that's my timer to keep things short, and so I'm going to try to keep this going. So I want to say thank you real quick to the men and women of the 346 Test Squadron. I've said all the words that I wanted to say to y'all yesterday, but I couldn't have done it without y'all. Y'all were a shining example of what an organization needs to be, where we're going in the future, and I can't wait to see the success that you guys bring and the examples of how we're supposed to do tests the right way within this cyber domain in the future. Fortunately, I will not be too far off, so I'll be keeping a close eye, so that way you can feel free to chunk those spears at me going forward, or some of those blessings going forward. And I would just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's truly been an honor serving you. I can't wait to see what you do in the future, and I wish y'all nothing but the best. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, 318th Cyberspace Operations Group, Joint Base San Antonio-lackland, Texas. Special Order Number G-2307, dated 21 June 2023. By order of the Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Adan R. Reyes will relinquish command of the 346 Test Squadron to Lieutenant Colonel Christopher C. Olsen, Joint Base San Antonio-lackland, Texas. Official 26 June 2023. Signed, Colonel Thomas T. Bodnar, Commander, 318th Cyberspace Operations Group. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commander, 346 Test Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher C. Olsen. Mike?
I think I was told by no less than 4 colonels and a 1-star to keep this short, so that's what I intend to do. My wife says don't be a hero, so I wrote down, it doesn't mean it's long, it just means it would be really uncool if I forgot somebody. So first I want to say thank you to the event workers, narrator, chaplain, honor guard, and a special shout out to Master Sergeant Sneathan, Staff Sergeant McManus, and Staff Sergeant Heiser, who did all the legwork. I put on a few of these in my career. They're never fun to work on, but they're always appreciated, so thank you guys. Colonel Kern, Chief Power, I know your schedules are jam-packed, so it means a lot that you were able to make it this morning, and to the rest of my colleagues and friends in the audience, especially the P1 crew who showed up deep this morning. Thank you guys. Colonel Bodnar, sir, thank you for rolling the dice on me. I know I was largely an unknown quantity to the wing and the group when you hired me, but I can only assume you relied on my record and the other leaders I've worked with in the past to make your decision, and I'll work hard every day to make sure that I prove you made the right choice. Face, what can I say? Thank you for your leadership of this unit over the last 2 years, and for being so generous with your time over the last few months for me to prepare me for this moment. You did not have to do that, but you gave me many hours of your time, and I appreciate it. I do feel like you're handing me the keys to a brand new Porsche 911, which, as an incoming commander, is kind of frustrating if I'm being honest. You'd like to come in and have a 75 Pinto, then you're like, okay, let's roll up our sleeves. There's a lot to fix around here, but I'm not going to turn down a Porsche. So thank you very much. I'm sure we can find some things to work on, but good luck working for Colonel Dooley and the Cyber Systems Group, and I know the Cobras are going to miss you. So just a real short anecdote. I once heard a wing commander say that command is 2 years. If you take out a few weeks for leave and holidays, it's really 100 weeks. And so every week is 1% of your command tour. So every week you need to ask yourself, did I get my 1%? So with that in mind, to my family, my wife, the true MVP, keeping 3 small children on task, thank you for all the love and support over the last 15 years. I'm under no illusions that the next 2 years are going to be easy. There's probably going to be times when it's just downright awful, but I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. William, Ellie, Russell, my kids, none of this means anything without you guys if I don't get to do it with you, so thank you, and I love you all. And finally, to the Cobras of the 346 Test Squadron, we have 100 weeks together, 100 weeks to build something special. So let's try to get our 1% out of every week, and let's get started right now. So thank you.
At this time, the men and women of the 346 Test Squadron would like to present a bouquet of flowers to the spouses. Mrs. Reyes, thank you for your support of this command over the last 2 years. Major Megan Olsen, welcome to the family, and we look forward to your support as well. In keeping with Air Force tradition, we will conclude today's ceremony with the singing of the Air Force song. While it is customary for Air Force members to stand, we invite all of our guests to join us in standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party and distinguished guests.
Flying high into the sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please proceed through the receiving line to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Christopher C. Olsen and his family, and join us for a reception in the lobby. Thank you.